Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thanks for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? Season 3, The Asylum Years, the only podcast to consistently forget that it's a podcast, which makes you ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I'm joined by my co-host, Brother Skylar. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, though?
I
got him again.
Oh,
I keep stumping
nobody
with
ever
that.
asked me that. I don't know how to express myself. We're also joined by J Delta. Wagwan. Wagwan. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm dying to get into this total non-stop action over here. And
High Energy Delta. That's what we call him.
That's me.
Always ready to go. All right.
Yeah, I've been saving up all this energy for all my time off.
All right, so during Season 3, we are taking you through the National Wrestling Alliance Total Nonstop Action weekly pay-per-view shows, now known as TNA The Asylum Years. This episode is NWA TNA pay-per-view number 4, which aired July 10th, 2002, but I'm pretty sure was taped last week, July 3rd, because still from City Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, still drawing 2,000 people and making $11,000, which means the ticket prices were half because tickets are allegedly $9.95, but profit divided by people means tickets must have costed $5.50. So they're about $2 million in the red right now.
Yikes.
Off to a good start. Gotta lose money to make money.
I guess so.
Economics 101.
They're still around. We're not. I don't know. All right, so Delta, this is kind of new to you. Let's help you understand why we are the way we are with our crazy past.
Wait a minute. What happened that got you so crazy?
All right, so first, I have divided everything into, rankings, if you will. So first is the unranked, if you will. The original midget killer, Puppet the Psycho Dwarf, wants the show to start with midget wrestling, but has since settled for making other midgets bleed because they're stealing his screen time.
There's been 2 matches so far with him, or 2 bits, or has it been every show?
It's 2 bits and a match or something like that. 2 matches, something like that.
But isn't he always booked if there's midget wrestling?
So far.
So who's stealing his spotlight? He wants to be double booked?
Wait a minute. That is an excellent kayfabe question. But it's not time yet, so we're just going to move on. Next, Alicia keeps demanding money from men, but sometimes they're not upset about it. That's just the way it is. I don't know. Next, K-Crush does not like hearing about race car driving.
Yes, that I'm aware of.
Damn race car driving. He's so angry about it.
All right, next, Taylor Vaughn is Miss TNA.
Wait, who?
Next. I don't know her. Next, Ed Ferrara keeps touching Francine's boob. Sometimes because she makes him. Regardless, Francine keeps beating him with her belt.
Remind me, is Ed Ferrara one of the head writers at TNA at this point?
I'm not.
I think
100%.
he talks to Russo.
Oh, he's just a personality. Yeah, he's part of that famous Russo Ferrara personality team. But I don't know how much writing he has, because there's a lot of the Jarretts are doing a lot of stuff now, and there's still the NWA still involved in stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I don't think he has a lot of input right yet.
I mean, it's obvious who's writing this storyline,
though. Who came up with the storyline of Ed Ferrara gets to touch Francine's boobs every week?
Francine's husband.
All right, well.
Oh, and it's okay then.
Yeah. Is she married to Jim Cornette?
oh, good one. Next is the tag division. Buff Bagwell, Marcus has gone home to rethink his career.
No, he just went home.
Oh, I thought he went home to rethink his. That's what the that was the commentary's commentary.
The show's over, so he went home.
Oh, I thought.
That's what he said.
So we're really not sure what happened with him.
He just left.
Just that he left for the day.
Yeah.
It might have been for the day.
He might be back tomorrow.
It might have been forever.
Okay. That's something we gotta keep in mind, though. That's a storyline happening. Next, the Dups will fuck their own sister/cousin, but they won't wrestle guys who fuck other men / their own brother, which is something I believe I said last week, right? I brought that up last show, Brother Skylar.
Did you correct that yet?
I don't know if I've corrected that, which is, that I said that they were...
you did correct that.
Their own brothers, like they were brothers. But if you actually look into the storyline, because if you look online, it says that they're gays and they're also brothers. But if you watch the promo, there's a promo in WCW with JJ Dillon where he's like, "Hey, you guys, I don't know how you thought you were going to get away with this, but I can see your contracts. You have to sign them the right way. I mean, I see what's going on here. It's obvious. You guys are brothers." And they go, "Oh, yeah, right, yeah, right, brothers, right, yes, that's what we are. We're brothers, yes." So it's sort of like right, those women that live down the block from us, who've lived there their whole lives into their 80s and never found husbands, and they're totally inseparable, and they love woodworking and the theater, and they look nothing alike. They're definitely sisters. It's
they're
like
cousins, right?
They're cousins and
related.
sisters. It's one of those. I think it's just one of those old school things like that, where they're like, "Oh yeah, brothers, sure. So long as you don't think we're gay, we lose our job." So I'm pretty sure when you see them being reported as brothers, that's false reporting. They just didn't watch the promo. Unless there's another promo after this that proves me way wrong. All right, next. Mortimer Plumtree owns his former bullies, the Johnsons. Or does he?
They kind of beat him up.
They kind of beat him up and left him, so maybe not. And then finally in the tag division, who beat up Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris to a bloody pulp? Because they got beat up bad. Who did that? Who did that?
I have my suspicions.
We all have suspicions. Next is the world title scene. Brian Christopher has won the unofficial title of the Real Athlete.
He's a real athlete.
Yeah, they dedicated some time to that, so it has to be mentioned. Next, Monty Brown wants Ken Shamrock's NWA title, and Ken Shamrock has responded saying, "If you can make it official, you're on."
All right.
So that's something that will happen eventually.
Yes, unless Omori beats him.
Right, and I guess it'll either be a pointless match between them, or maybe we'll have to get a new match. Right. So next, James Mitchell wants to control the NWA Heavyweight World title as per the request of his God. Just a factual statement he said flat out. Yeah,
can't argue with that.
No.
What does it mean to control a title? Wouldn't that just mean he's the booker then?
Is that what he wants?
How do you control something? You can't mind control a belt. It's a belt. So I don't understand what you're doing.
You're asking a lot of kayfabe questions early on here. I'm not ready for this. All right, finally, and most importantly, Jeff Jarrett will not be screwed over again, like he already has been by Jackie Fargo, Toby Keith, Scott Hall, and NWA President Jim Miller.
All people he tried to murder.
Also, he's attempted to kill both Jackie Fargo and Jim Miller.
Well, I mean, Scott Hall, he tossed him off that gurney a few times.
That's true. He tossed him off the gurney, and the gurney was on the ramp, and he landed off the ramp. So, that's... All right. Next would be dark matches, and there were no dark matches, which again helps me believe that this was filmed from last week. They just went straight through
the second half of the day.
All right, so then let's do it. Let's start the show.
Nice. Just off key enough. We don't have to worry about any copyrights.
Okay, so we start off, and we are already proven wrong from last week when we said, they're getting better with production, because we hear Jeremy Borash count down 3, 2, 1 as fireworks completely drown out Tenay running down tonight's card.
I immediately said that. I'm like, the countdown's back. Okay.
It's ruined. Yeah. So the show starts off with Seg 1 immediately. No time wasted. The tag match starts with James Mitchell and his new church. They enter with Slash and their newest member, Tempest. Except it's not total nonstop action, because then they spend 2 minutes recapping the entire tag team tournament segment.
What a recap!
All of it. All the segments, all the matches, everything. Yeah. I mean, I guess there weren't a lot of dirt sheets back then, so cool. And it's pay-per-view, so maybe you couldn't really...
Yeah, you tuned in for the first time on episode 4.
I guess...
What was it, like a solid 4 minutes? Like 4.5 minutes?
I have 2 full minutes of
2 minutes?
2 solid minutes of recaps. And then... AJ and Styles enter. So there's another entrance after that. More waste of time, if you will. Tenay says AJ put up a superhuman effort last week, and Ed points out that, hey, we've seen Tempest before. And Tenay goes, yep, that's Crowbar Devon Storm. It just shows the power that James Mitchell has over his followers. Or how weak Tempest is.
Yeah.
Like,
That doesn't really prove anything.
So the match starts with Lynn and Tempest. A lot of reversal work. A tag to AJ with a, at the time, new take on an old move with a drop toe hold into a swanton splash, because usually it's a drop toe hold and then your partner does like the elbow drop or the leg drop, and he does the flip, and it's like, what? So anyway, the match is happening. It's a great wrestling match by AJ at this point. It is great stuff, but also, unfortunately, it is typical AJ at this point. So you expect it. Like, as amazing it is, you go, yeah, that's, of course, that's what he's going to do.
It's still amazing. Especially, well, he is starting the match, so it's hard to say, like, you've seen people wrestle. Yeah. That's why they should have had him a little later.
That was one of the problems I had.
You need to see how other people work, and then be like, wow, he's phenomenal.
No, I will say, there is this amazing sequence, like a full, like, train car of moves they do that lead into each other, where AJ and Lynn double kick Tempest's legs out from under him. It trips him. He double kicks Slash out of the ring. Then they double line Tempest out of the ring. AJ follows over the top outside into both men. They catch him and hold him. Then Lynn goes over the top, crashes on all three of them. AJ gets up, goes for an Asai moonsault, but Tempest gets up, pulls his legs, and AJ smashes his face on the apron, which then Lynn pulls Tempest into the ring, gives him his reverse the shoulder block into a leg drop in between the ropes that he always thinks good move. He does it, boom, and then that's followed by he picks him back up while hanging on the ropes, and AJ does like an to the inside triangle springboard moonsault rope assisted splash. Like, it was beautiful, these things that happen in, like, what was it, like a 15-second mark? Just boom, 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 20-second mark.
That's Jerry Lynn for you.
It was amazing.
He puts together those sequences.
Oh my god. So,
and did you notice it? When they did that spot you talked about, he caught AJ and then Jerry Lynn did the flip. Tenay did his first little Tenay scream.
Oh, did he?
He did. Ah! He freaked.
Here comes Jerry.
There's just so much chaos. It's hard to notice when he does that. But later on, he starts doing it mid-match, and it's really easy to see, and that's when it's great. So in the ring, off the ropes, AJ gets his leg pulled by Slash, but Slash jumps up on the apron, and AJ pushes him off the apron into the guardrail. And when he did that, my immediate response was, you didn't need to do that to yourself.
You went for it.
And then Tempest hits a DVD, and you think it's the end, but it's only a 2. AJ catapults Slash into Tempest, and then he gets the hot tag to Lynn. Eventually, Lynn hits that cradle power driver, but Slash comes in, breaks it up, and then Lynn tosses Slash, and AJ tags himself in, hits the spiral tap, gets the 3.
There's the story.
That's the story. Yeah, post-match, AJ once again celebrates by himself with both belts.
My goodness, what a celebration. Fireworks everywhere for no reason. Jesus.
But this time, I noticed he did call Lynn into the ring to celebrate with him. Lynn reluctantly enters, but almost immediately leaves angry / disgusted. Recap length, 2 minutes. Match length, 10 minutes and 36 seconds. Post-match length, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Full segment length, full opening segment length, 15 minutes and 42 seconds. Your thoughts, Delta?
Why did this open the show?
Right?
I could not believe, I was watching this and I was like, yo, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
There were little bits here and there, but honestly, pretty much the entire match I thought was great. Start to finish, they were on fire. I think they dragged. I thought, at one point they dragged on. It was Crowbar in the ring by himself for so long. It wasn't really much of a tag match for a lot of it. But yeah, I thought it was great. I just couldn't understand, why would you open your show with this? It feels like there was so much potential with Lynn having another match later on in the evening. I don't know. It seems crazy.
All right. Brother Scott?
I dare say this is probably the best match they had so far in the company.
Oh, the whole history of TNA.
So far, yeah.
Okay.
From the first show to now, this is the match
Okay.
they hold the yardstick to. I give all the credit to Jerry Lynn.
Right.
Of course, I believe he put the whole thing together.
He's done.
Yeah, apparently. It had a huge story.
Yeah.
The whole thing. They, from entrance to finish, they came out. Jerry Lynn was looking at him, just kind of like, and they were separated, obviously separated when they walked down the whole entrance ramp.
Yeah.
The whole match, he was frustrated. He wanted the tag, wasn't getting it. He kind of was like, you heard him sometimes too. Come on! He was getting frustrated.
All right. Yeah.
And then he walked out on him at the end with all the confusion. So there was a lot of story. There was a lot of great action. It had everything.
All right.
So every match I will now be comparing to this match. 4 stars, would have been 5, except for that fucking referee. He was so bad. He's always in the way, and he's like Earl Hebner. He doesn't get out of the way. He's just kind of like, I hope I don't touch them, and kind of like leans slightly. I hate that so much. He watches people get hit and like sells it like falling to the ropes. Oh, I'm like, what are you, the star of this? Like, go sit down. I hate him so much. Oh, he missed his spot with Jerry Lynn. Oh, Jerry Lynn ran in when they were doing the double team move and basically had to grab Slick to hold him back.
Oh, okay, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, Slick was just like standing there like thinking what to do next to look good. I was like, he's so fucking bad. I hate him.
Yeah. So yeah, my thoughts were, it was a good match. I'm just not sure if Jerry Lynn should be upset. Like, I'm not sure if he's justified in his feelings.
Yeah, I didn't really buy that either. But I think we haven't gotten to the X Division match. Right. But I think if you would flip the order, had the X Division match first, and then this, doesn't have to be main. It makes a lot more sense
especially with the finish. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you understand, like, this is why Jerry Lynn is pissed.
It's just another reason to be frustrated. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. All right. And then also, you guys ready for this? You ready?
Ooh. Should I brace?
This is the last time we see Tempest wrestle.
Oh, the guy who just joined?
Tempest, yeah. This is the last time we see him wrestle. We will, spoiler alert, we do see Devon Storm again, but we don't see Tempest.
Oh, okay.
We don't see Tempest ever again.
Got it.
I thought it was confusing when they called him that. I was like, I remember that being his name.
Tempest, it's just, and then he's gonna go the rest of his career with us ignoring that this happened.
No.
Like, he didn't just join a cult for a week. Like imagine this guy becomes world champion and we just gotta go, remember when you joined a cult, bro? What was that about? We're supposed to trust you?
Yeah. I joined a cult. I got my ass kicked.
Wasn't for me.
Yeah. You know what? Sometimes you gotta try it, right?
Yo. Oh, man. Cool.
Oh, come down to my church. Try out my church on Sunday. Fine. I'll get, I tried this guy's church. I'll try yours, right?
Give it a once over.
Yeah. Give it a once over. Get my ass kicked.
Oh, boy. Post-segment, Tenay says, please support NWA and all their upcoming tour dates. So I will also take this time to say, please support us by sending our podcast to anybody that has ears. Even if they don't work, just send it to them.
Just send it to them.
All right, segment 2. Tenay welcomes us to TNA with our first look at Commentary's wardrobe.
Oh, God!
Oh, my God. This is after you just had your X Division. Yeah. Yo, I'm turning off the paper.
With the fireworks and all that, yeah. Now he welcomes us with Don West dressed like a high-rankings 80s Batman villain in his purple suit.
He was going to take off with those wings. Those shoulder pads.
Yes.
My goodness.
Ed Farrar's dressed like he's coaching a bowling league.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. He had like one of those super trendy silk image print shirts that like Jericho usually wore.
I thought it was like 3 different colors of camo.
No.
That wasn't camo?
There's a segment later on. I think it's one of the women's segments where he like gets in the ring and you can actually see it. Yeah. It's like a full-on, like a city street scene with like rappers being like, yo, towards the viewer camera area.
Oh, he's hip.
Yeah,
I get it.
That's what it is. Yes, because he also had diamond style, like diamond shaped glasses.
Yeah, was that what it was? It was like upside down triangle? I wasn't sure what it was.
Something like that, yeah. So Tenay reminds us what happened last week with Scott Hall and says, I'll try to call him while we watch this video recap.
Wait a minute.
I'll brute force his phone number and maybe he'll pick up. Like, what?
This show started 15 minutes ago. You couldn't have figured this out before we started?
No.
So they didn't even try to get him to show up.
No.
They're going to just call him now.
So the recap video paints it like Brian Christopher, completely abandoned Hall, and it was planned from the start and doesn't mention any of the miscommunication pointed out by Brother Skylar last week. Mid-video, They get Scott Hall on the phone, and they just lower the video audio and play the phone audio over it. So there's like 3 to 4 audios happening at the same time. You have him doing the phone, you have the video that they're showing, you have like the commentary of that video, which is all, and then I think the live feed is still pumped in, so it's just chaos. Scott Hall says he's coming after all 3 men for revenge. Christopher first, then Crush, with something special for Jarrett last. Recap length, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Phone call length, 45 seconds. Segment length, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. My thoughts are, hey, if this is the best they could do with Scott Hall, this is the best they could do with Scott Hall.
It was the same promo he did from before.
Yeah.
He said, hey, yo. He said what the deal was. He got attacked. And then he said a line that everyone recognizes. This time it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. Last time it was sing it, bring it.
Right, yeah.
And then he leaves.
The best part is,
promo.
Presumably, if this was filmed the same night as the other one, he couldn't hang around for another 20 minutes. I get it. He got beat up, so, he shouldn't. What do you do, right? I don't know. They couldn't Titantron him or something? They didn't have that technology?
No. I mean that literally. No, they did not.
We couldn't go to a video interview. I know they got those.
No, they couldn't afford that. I'd have to actually wrangle him into a place to film that. All right, so segment 3, the real athlete, Brian Christopher, comes out, and commentary further ruins our logic from last week by saying it makes total sense. Their fathers were business partners. They're second-generation wrestlers. But I think it's Tenay who says this. I just don't get why he turned on Hall in such a cowardly way. Really? Watch our video where he morphs into a rat.
Yeah.
That's super obvious. It's super obvious. So the crowd is super hot. They are so hot and ready to react to what Brian says that he being a heel, he goes, I spend my whole life here in Tennessee, and the crowd goes, yeah, boo!
Almost got him.
Brian says that he is sick of being known as Jerry Lawler's son. That's bullshit. Jerry Lawler was no father to him, and I love this because the commentary's like, oh, I can't believe he's winning. He goes, that's bullshit. And they go, wow, I don't know why he's, Jerry Lawler was no father of mine. Like, oh!
Yeah. Disrespected his father.
So yeah, Jerry Lawler's no father of mine. He can go to hell. And now he's not Jerry Lawler's son. He's Brian Lawler. Which is kind of confusing to me a little bit.
Totally baffling.
Distant relative, maybe.
I don't get
Not
that.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched this and it was like, what? What? Why did anybody give this guy a mic?
I don't.
Who came up with this promo? I don't. I get like, oh, Jerry Lawler, he's a big deal. What are we? 2002 at this point?
Yeah, it's way past.
Stop
that.
it. Yeah, we're past that. Why? Like, dude, you're still getting over on your father's name if all you're doing is coming out and cutting that promo, and then changing your last name to his. What?
No logic.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I thought that was it. Okay, bye. No, match time.
Also, let's not, if his promo is like, my dad was never there because he was always out on the road being a wrestler, that is a genuine criticism of that man's ability to be a father. And these hicks and you're gonna like, boo, fuck you, latchkey bum, you should be by yourself. Boo! Yeah, that's right, pour your own cereal for dinner. I hope your dad doesn't come home. Yeah. This is what you people are cheering for. Yeah. I'm here talking about my dad and the way he abandoned me. Yo, he never came to a baseball game. What? He wasn't there for my graduation. What? That's the promo, and he's the heel. Huh? What?
Yo, that's a solid argument, man. I don't understand. I don't get it. Oh my god, yeah. So then he's the heel.
Yeah.
And then the face comes out, the British Norman Smiley.
Yeah.
And they have a match. And yo, it's 100%.
It's great.
But it's the most the baseline, basic match you could have ever had in wrestling. Period.
That's Norman Smiley.
It is a 5-minute, totally solid.
Yeah, yes, but it is 100% base. Norman hits all of his moves.
Yep.
And he's only got 5 of them, so it's not that big deal. It's not that long of a match, And 2 of them's a dance, so it's it's really easy. Brian does nothing but crowd work and does the same heel thing, which is I'm gonna go to the well one too many times.
Yeah,
every time.
I loved his shoulder blocks. I thought his shoulder blocks genuinely look brutal.
They look legit, yeah. It's the shit in between that I hate.
Yeah.
So then, it was just batshit confusing to me because I didn't even understand what they were arguing about, which is at one point, Ed and Don argue about whether or not Ed's love for Brian Lawler is Ed being a bandwagon hopper, but not a bandwagon jumper.
I said hopper.
It doesn't get resolved.
They gotta just move on from it.
But it does lead to a weird exchange where Don makes fun of Ed's lame jokes, and then Ed Ferrara makes fun of Don West's suit. So then Don West makes fun of Ed's face. It just ramped up out of nowhere. And then Brian Lawler hits the low blow, goes for the hip hop drop, gets the 3.
But oddly, he gets up, puts on the goggles, but then quickly throws them off and just hits it. And I think it's today's what? Oh, I can't believe it. That wasn't the hip hop drop.
The symbolic throwing away of the goggles means he's throwing away his old gimmick.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with his father. Now we're moving on. He hates everything about himself from the past.
So, promo length 4 minutes, match length 4 minutes and 47 seconds. It's not good when your promo and your match are the same length.
I don't know, man. These guys had an easy night. Yeah.
And then, post-match, which is 15 seconds long, Brian Lawler grabs a mic and he says, "Hey, yo, Scott Hall, you're next on my list." So full segment length was 11 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah, as much as I like Norman Smiley, my thoughts were this was just too super basic old school of a match to really get over with me. I didn't think it was bad, but I was just these guys are on TV. Why are they wrestling an indie style match? That's what I felt. Go ahead.
I thought it was a bad match.
You thought it was straight up bad?
I thought Norman Smiley did nothing wrong. I love Norman Smiley, and he did everything correct.
Okay.
Almost a little too well, because he was the only one that was over, and I felt like that was to put Brian Christopher over, and it did not put him over at all.
They consistently they don't understand how this crowd reacts to any of the characters.
The match was supposed to be he was going to be more aggressive now. He was big tough guy now. His strikes and aggressiveness look super weak. So no one cared about that, and then everyone only cared about Norman Smiley, and it wasn't his job to get over. So it didn't work for me. I hated it. I hated it.
Crowd loved Norman.
Oh
Smiley.
Yeah, I would have been there cheering for him as well.
Dude, he was so good. It's just Brian Christopher knows how to wrestle, but he doesn't know how to work. I don't. He doesn't understand what's going on with the promo or whoever came up with that promo. Again, doesn't make any sense. And then his crowd heel work is it's pretty lazy.
Yeah, he was again trying to be all serious and stern with his aggression, and then immediately gave up and did his hot dog and just thing. And I was like, oh, there he goes. He gave up because he doesn't know how to do anything else.
No. And again, the whole you do the hip hop drop, and it's he gets up there and then puts on the goggles and forgets I should make. Nobody should tell you at this point. You should make this a big. You put on the goggles, you go, wait a minute, and you stop, and then you take them off, and you do the dirty look around, and then you throw them, and so the dummies in the crowd can see what's going on and register it. Yeah. I can't wait to see Norman Smiley again.
Sure,
I'll say that.
But you know what?
I actually have a question.
Okay.
Why do people hate the Rainbow Express but love Norman Smiley?
Because Norman Smiley's only joking when he does it.
I don't understand why he puts a guy over the ropes and he's like, what I'm going to do to him? Yeah. And everyone's like, yeah, do that to him. We love that. I'm like, But then the Rainbow Express comes out and they're like, we know what you guys do in the back. We don't like that.
It's that mentality of like, aha, Brian Christopher is getting molested by a guy.
Oh,
like,
he doesn't like it.
And he doesn't like it.
But that weirdo likes it.
Well, yeah, but Norman Smiley doesn't like it. He's just
No, I'm talking about the Rainbow Express of the weirdos.
Yeah, that's the lot. Yo, what a fucking crowd! What a crowd! Aha! You get molested! Aha! That's it! Yo! In fact, Smiley's doing the deal, and it cuts to some yokel in the crowd.
Yeah!
Who's like, you spank him, boss. Like, oh, man.
And then Don West makes the line, oh, that's right, you're going to act like a child, you're going to get treated like one. I was like, wait, what?
What's he doing to kids?
Yeah, Don West. Hold on.
We don't do that in the TNA.
No.
Oh my god. All right. Rest in peace, Brian Lawler.
All right.
Oh, yeah?
He did, yeah.
Oh, man.
No, I'm glad he gave us
I'm sure
this.
you were an all right person. You weren't a good wrestler, though.
No. Segment 4. Backstage, Jarrett asks Bill Behrens about his title match tonight. Bill says Jeff doesn't have one, and he knows what he did to Jim Miller, and if he can prove it, Jeff's suspended. Jeff grabs his crotch and tells Bill to suspend this bitch, and leaves. Literally, at the exact same time that is happening, we hear Father James Mitchell yelling at Slash and Tempest for losing their match behind an open door that slams shut when Goldie tries to peer inside. Oh, because Goldie was with this happen. That's why we saw it, because Goldie was like, let's see if we can follow them and see what's going on. Segment length, 38 seconds. You guys have any thoughts on this?
I still love this style of having segment and segment. Or, I'm sorry, just having two promos seamlessly go into each other in one segment.
Right.
I'm a big fan of that.
I hate it.
Oh, you don't like that at all?
I think this is the dumbest shit I have ever seen, because as Jeff Jarrett is getting his point across, all I can hear in the background is James Mitchell, like, but I can't really understand him because it's like muffled. But now I can't really understand Jeff Jarrett that well because there's muffled scream. You know, plus the whole, like, okay, well, they're leaving. Let's turn around and see what's happening directly behind us. Really? This big arena and all that's happening 10 feet?
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. And all the important ones who have something to say are right here in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Brother Skylar because I get what they were trying to do and I
Yeah.
like it, but I'm with you. It was very distracting. I had to watch this 4 times before I realized that Jeff Jarrett was at risk of being suspended and was not already suspended. I thought he was already suspended.
I was going to make a point that I loved it because they were overacting so much, Bill Behrens and Jeff Jarrett, with their bodies, that I was like, oh, I don't even need to understand what they're saying because I can tell what they're talking about.
Right.
But then you told me about the suspension. It's like, oh, I didn't hear that, so never mind.
No,
Never mind.
Exactly. That's part of it, yeah. Is every time there was a certain point where James Mitchell started yelling just loud enough where it's like, I literally cannot focus on anything with James Mitchell right now.
And based off everything else that happens in the show, I don't understand why that even happened. Other than just to get James Mitchell over.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that was.
I don't get why, this whole,
It didn't set up any,
I don't get any of that.
I don't know.
No, I don't get any of that either. So segment 5, classic recap. Here we go. TNA welcomes Hermie Sadler, but K-Crush hates NASCAR. This leads to a scuffle and a match.
Were you surprised that this match all of a sudden happened? Because I knew this was happening, but I was like, oh yeah, this match. I felt like it should have been like advertised at the beginning of the show and been like, oh, this is going to happen. You know, the celebrity is going to fight later.
No, it did seem
I was
like
like, oh, this is now?
It seemed like it came out of nowhere. Like, I feel like there should have been a little more hype to this.
I was like, I figured it was next week because I didn't hear anything about it.
Out comes K-Crush. He cuts a promo. He calls the audience trash and says he'll kick any NASCAR fan's ass. It goes on for like 2 minutes, something like that. And then Hermie comes out and the match starts with Hermie selling way too much and attacking way too hard. However, I would argue that doesn't necessarily look bad, just incredibly untrained.
Yeah, I would say this whole thing, like, Hermie Sadler knows what he's supposed to be doing. And, like, he gets it. Like, he gets the biz, and I can respect it. But he's total shit, because everybody is when they have no experience.
It's his very first match, literally.
Yeah. And, like, I get doing it. I get doing bring in the NASCAR, like, help draw. But I wouldn't have gone about it this way.
Yeah. All right. So Hermie ducks K Crush's move and hits stiff strikes. Crush hits the axe kick and his other moves, but only does one finger pins. So Hermie keeps kicking out real easy. It works perfect for me. I have no complaints.
I was fine
about
with
that.
it. Yeah,
100%. Crush does a figure 4 leg lock, and commentary is dumbfounded when Hermes reverses it, and I'm like, really?
I had the same
The
point.
most popular wrestler in history uses that as his finisher.
Yeah.
He gets it reversed once every match he uses it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I learned how to do that when I was 10 watching it on TV.
Yeah, it's fucking bi-weekly. The most famous wrestler in the world has that move reversed on him. It's like, how did he learn that? Why don't get it?
If you told me Hermie Sadler was here, not as a wrestling fan, like he was just a guy showing up to get paid for NASCAR, and he reversed the figure 4, I'd be like, well, yeah, of course, everybody knows how to reverse the figure 4.
It's not that hard. So Hermes reverses a Hurricane Rana into a power bomb.
Great.
And he gets it too. It was amazing. I was shocked.
And what I like is, like, obviously he didn't intend it. Like, it's just pure inexperience, but it works for the story of the match because he hits the power bomb and then just lays out flat and then crawls over for the cover. And it's totally like, oh, he caught K Quick by... Wait, who is he here? K Crush.
K Crush.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Catches him by surprise, hits the power bomb, but he's too inexperienced to capitalize.
Yeah.
I thought it worked.
Yeah.
Out of fucking nowhere, Crush does a double leg takedown and pins Hermes with his own legs on the top rope for the 3.
Yeah.
And the match is now over.
I thought it was a shoot almost, because the way he came at him and started punching him, and he like went to the double down to make him stop, and I was like, oh, is he just like done with him? He's like, oh, I'm done with you. Stop punching me.
Yeah. Post-match, Crush stomps Hermie to the outside of the ring, so the ref reverses the decision and Hermie wins.
It probably was, because it's 2002. I really hope that was the last time they ever did that finish, because I really don't like that
It
finish.
seems so lame.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we've already seen other wrestlers kick other wrestlers out of the ring, and nobody... what was it? Puppet attacked the ref with a kendo stick, and he didn't reverse that decision. Like,
Yeah, because that's Slick Johnson. He's a piece of shit.
The worst part about the reversal is it's always inconsistent. It's the kind of thing I always think of. There was a match, Jericho versus Edge, in like 2002 or 2000, like super early, and out of nowhere Jericho like grabs Edge like, for a back suplex, but then hangs him up, like crotches him on the ropes, and the ref disqualified him. And like that's how Jericho lost the match. And it's like, really, you guys couldn't think of anything else? You disqualified him for a move that is probably used by someone else on the same show.
yeah.
It's the same thing, attacking a guy after the match and then reversing the decision.
Yeah.
Hello, how many other matches end with you beat the guy to death after, and the ref just goes, whatever, I just got paid. I'm done.
Exactly. Right.
Old WWF Raw and Super NES. Wave the arms. I'm done.
Again, yeah. All right, yeah. So recap length, 1 minute 27 seconds. Promo length, 1 minute and 25 seconds. Match length, 5 minutes and 8 seconds. Post-match length, 51 seconds. Segment length, 9 minutes and 45 seconds of awful storylines. Because it's not even wrestling is better than NASCAR. I don't like NASCAR. That is the storyline.
And then he beat him.
So he's right. I guess we shouldn't like NASCAR. I don't even know what the argument is there. Yeah. My thoughts, the only thoughts I have left to add are that let's just hope this heat gets used.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this the end of it now and it goes nowhere? I would assume it has to go
scene.
somewhere.
Put Crush in a title scene.
Yeah.
Again, like, props to Hermie Sadler. He gets it, but he shouldn't have had a match because...
Yeah.
Or if they were going to have a match, he shouldn't have tried to... if you're going to work a match with a non-wrestler, don't do Irish whips. Don't work it like you're working a match. Because, to me, the Irish whip, the only reason it makes sense is a wrestler is trained. Like, you get whipped, you know how to run the ropes.
Exactly, yeah.
If I whip some rube who doesn't know what they're doing... odds are they're gonna fall out of the ring and like bust their neck.
I think that was part of the story they were also trying to tell on commentary. Because once he did the figure 4 reversal, he was like, "Oh, someone must have been training him. He knows things."
Yeah.
So it'd be okay in that sense to reverse him. But I do agree with your point. Still, it shouldn't be doing stuff like that.
Doesn't make any if you want to have Hermie Sadler lose and then training montage and then he comes back in 2 weeks.
Rocky montage.
Hey, that's one thing. But just. You lost. Oh, never mind. You won by weird technicality. How is that a win for what a weird...
Yay, everyone won.
We won by technicality. All right, guys.
Technicality.
Yeah. Isn't that what NASCAR wins is? You don't really win. You tally points. I don't know NASCAR.
Right? Isn't that...
I don't know.
I mean, there's definitely a guy who finishes the race first.
Yeah.
And I would assume if it's a race... Finishing first must mean you win, but who am I to judge NASCAR?
No, because he started in first and he ended in first, and you only get points when you pass people, so he loses.
If you start first, you cannot win.
Bump the brakes.
Or do you have to go all the way around?
Or do you just have to have so much confidence in yourself that you're just I started first and I go break and let everybody pass me. I go, now I gain all the points.
But when you lose points for people passing you?
Oh, you lose points? Oh, I don't understand NASCAR at all. I thought you could only win in NASCAR. There's no losing.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
50 race cars. Y'all win. You made it.
Segment 6. Omari is doing squats, but Alicia walks up to him and he stops and goes, and then gives her money and she leaves. Tenay and Dodd West demand that Ed explain what is happening. And he says, I'll tell you later.
I want to know!
And then cut from our version, you have one more line in that, which he says, it's not what you think.
Oh, yeah, it's not what you think.
He says he didn't say that for our version.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's not what you think. Which, I don't know, maybe it is. So they cut that?
Yeah.
You're like, well, it is.
Well, no, it was what we thought, so cut that.
Segment length, 33 seconds. My thoughts are, I really hate that this is the most interesting storyline they have.
I want to know what is happening. I'm so interested. And he was like, yeah, he doesn't even speak English, so he would need a translator to tell you what it is. So I was like, so then how did they make this exchange if he doesn't even speak English?
Body language.
It's something. I want to know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out.
All right, segment 7, the Hot Shots versus the Briscoe brothers. At this point, it is a fairly typical X Division match. They do a move, there's a high spot, and then the match gets interrupted by the New Church and mainly Malice.
Yeah.
It's not very, it's 2 minutes, and then Malice shows up.
Who's Malice? What is he? I don't...
He is WCW's The Wall.
Oh.
Remember The Wall in Berlin? Berlin used to be Alex Wright.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, that's that guy. That's who he eventually became, is Malice.
Okay.
So Malice choke slams one of the 4 men. He beats all 4 men up, but at the last guy he choke slams, a pyro goes off.
Is that what that was?
It sounded like a pyro to me, to accentuate his power. But I don't think they told him because it goes off and he looks to the stage like, "What was that?"
People freak out in the crowd. They're like, "What was that?" They're holding their ears like it was super loud. I was confused.
So Father James Mitchell tells Ken Shamrock to fight Malice for the World Heavyweight title right now or he'll hurt people. But he doesn't wait and grabs the timekeeper. You have 10 seconds. Oops, time's up.
Tenay, not the timekeeper! I love it.
Shamrock makes the save, but the New Church gets the upper hand, and after an awkward wait, Omari lazily makes the save for Shamrock. During a stare down, Ed says this is intense considering they're going to fight in Mortal Kombat later tonight.
What? They said that?
That's what Ed said, yeah. He's like, they're considering they're going to fight in Mortal Kombat later tonight. This is intense.
They're going to take out the Sega?
Yeah.
That's Mortal Kombat with a C, not a K. We don't want to risk any.
Yes. Also, just for extra copyright purposes, it's not an M at the beginning, it's 2 N's. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
It worked for that movie, The Witch, so.
Yeah. The Witch.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. All right, so match length was 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Post-match language was the whole Malice segment was 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Full segment length was 7 minutes and 52 seconds. My thoughts for this was this did not hype the match for me. In fact, I'm worried that Omari is not just saving himself for the main event, and this is what we're going to get from him.
Yeah.
This is everything he's got to give.
Yeah. He definitely, he did that real lazy jog to the ring.
Yeah, he was barely a and like when they cut, like when the whole crowd in the ring like he was still coming up the stairs.
I love when you could see the crowd react to someone coming out, but you hear nothing once they realize who it is. They're just because they don't realize who it is.
No.
They have no idea who Omori is still.
That's because they only look to the entranceway because Malice is like, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm looking at the entranceway. Oh, is someone coming to surprise me?
Now when I point up, you come out. Come, and it's like I think all three of them were all pointing up. This is the signal.
Yeah,
We're the pointing group now.
You should have pointed in Japanese though.
What?
I don't. Again, I feel like this card should be switch the order all over the place. I feel like you put this super early in the show,
Right?
and then I don't know who's a decision maker in TNA. It could be like Malice has to earn his spot, but we got an opening in the tag division, so we'll give your boys and then set up the tag match for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it ended with a big brawl, so they wouldn't have done that anyway. Also, these strikes in this brawl are the best that Shamrock throws the entire night. He comes in and he throws a couple shots, and I'm like, "Ooh, those are good shots." And then they glom him down, and then Omari eventually makes a save or whatever. But then later on in the match, and I'll get to it then, he's the world's most dangerous man, and his strikes are fucking shit. They're horrible. Oh my god, they're some of the worst.
All right. Segment 8, Goldilocks is with the Dups, but later on, when they announce them, they just go, and welcome to the ring, Dups. There's no the. Goldilocks is with the Dups. She asks what their strategy is for tonight. Stand Up, says their plan is to dry hump their opponent until they scream. I'm paraphrasing. And then Bose says some euphemisms incorrectly and talks about sheet. Segment length, rounded down, because this is one of the segments they cut at the end, minute and 50.
Again, you can molest someone and I'm gonna molest them, and that's not the part that's offensive.
No.
You're getting molested.
Yeah.
Every time.
I'm just putting my fingers out there.
It's working.
Ain't my fault you keep falling into it. So segment 9, Borash goes to introduce the Dups, but the wrong music keeps interrupting until former ECW personality / porn star / AVN Hall of Famer Jasmine St. Clair enters. They also play Scott Hall's music at the end.
I'm a happy man right now.
Oh, what's going on?
What were they trying to convey with the music interrupting? She was doing that? She was yelling at someone to do... I don't understand what that was. She have powers? I don't know.
She played the music and then went to go walk up the stairs and someone stopped it and she was like, "No!" I went back and started again and then went up the stairs.
They kept pulling her down. It's like the Titantron ready. She's got something on her shoe and she steps up there and their music plays, but they pulled her back down and so she kept coming back up.
This isn't your segment. Well, I'm going out there, so I don't care. This isn't your segment. Well, you better play the music because I'm walking out.
Okay, I will. Oh, you don't want me to, boss? Okay, I won't. Oh, but she wants me to. Okay, I will. Oh, but you don't want me to, boss? Okay, I won't.
Exactly. I need this backstage Muppets moment. What happened?
Yeah. So Jasmine enters the ring and she says she wants to get naked. And everyone at ringside acts super horny and flustered.
Hated this segment.
Ugh.
She gives Borash a lap dance, which is technically a storyline that we're not talking about, I guess. Why do women find Jeremy Borash so alluring?
This is again. Yeah. This is 3 women now?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 different women, yeah.
Tenay. Do you have Tenay's joke? Oh,
Which
God.
one? Go ahead.
Oh, I thought she came here for some exposure. And I was like, Tenay, stop. You're not supposed to be making jokes. You're the one in the fucking suit. He's trying to make jokes now?
Oh, you mean like Groucho Marx? Yeah. He's in the suit, yeah. Bill Behrens runs out to cover her up with his jacket, but Ed Ferrara runs in and spears him, but it doesn't faze Bill at all. And Bill covers up Jasmine and takes her away. As the crowd begins to boo, Don West says, "I'm with the crowd on this one. This was a little too much of a tease." And then Mike and Ed ham it up. "What were you doing up there?" "Oh, I don't know. I just something came over me. I didn't know." I was going, "Well, you weren't supposed to be." Segment length, 5 minutes and 57 segments, so it's about 6 minutes. My thoughts, as I have said already several times, I will not be tricked by TNA when it comes to naked women. Episode 1, they failed to deliver. They're not going to trick me again. It will not happen. I will never believe them. This was a waste of 6 minutes for me.
Ed Ferrara is definitely booking things. Because this was a segment for him again, was it not?
Right?
Or was it like a double kind of like TNA type deal with the women and an Ed Ferrara thing? Because whenever there's a woman type gimmick...
But who gets over in this?
Ed Ferrara is the intended one, but no one does. Yeah.
This is what happens when someone's like, "Oh, we'll put it in there because this guy wants it," or "Give this person a promo." Why? Well, they're here. We paid for them to be here.
Right.
Give them a promo. What's the promo? I don't know. They do a striptease for Jeremy Borash, but we can't do that, so then we don't do that. That's our promo. Cool. Okay. And then I guess Ed Ferrara will, I don't know, tackle the vice president.
I guess, yeah. But not too
With
hard.
no consequences.
With no consequence. It's...
Why is there a dedicated segment to, like, jerk bait? Like...
And, like, I know...
And it works!
You think you're gonna get to jerk off, but you don't.
This was that time, like, right before the PG era in WWE, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, it was before it. Yeah.
Well, right before the PG era, which is like we were past the Attitude Era, where the real shocking stuff actually happened,
right?
And now we're at the let's just do fake attempts to try to relive that stuff. You remember?
Yeah.
You remember them things? We're gonna do. Yeah, we had shocking Miss Kitty one time. You remember that? Yeah, we're gonna do that again.
I remember that.
I do.
Well, yeah. But that was a storyline, and they built something around it.
Yeah.
Like, here, let's just have Ed Ferrara tackle the vice president.
Right. But also, that segment was kind of pointless, because she was basically naked on every show anyway. Like, she was wearing clothes, but they're all see-through and wet and stuff, so I was like, oh, well, now I can definitely tell what color they are. Like, like what does that do? All right. So, segment 10, Dups versus Flying Elvises. Oh, excuse me, they have a the, versus the Flying Elvises. Yeah. That's where the went. Tenay points out that the Flying Elvises won the first ever X Division match over AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn, but Lynn and Styles have become the X Division and Tag Team Champions since then. That's a valid complaint. The match starts with the Flying Elvises attacking from behind, but the Dups take control, and then Mortimer Plumtree comes out. So, like, fuck this whole segment.
Yeah, I know. There's always something else. And, like, I'm fine with it backstage, but when it's during the wrestling match, it's a wrestling show. Like, you focus on the wrestling at that point.
Yeah.
I was so confused. Like, who are the heels? Who are the faces? Because when they came out, both of them, I don't know if you noticed, both the Duffs and the Flying Elvises were, like, high-fiving people. And I was like, well, I can understand why the Elvises would be popular. It's the South. Right. And I was like, I can understand why the Duffs would be the heels, because it's like, they're picking our noses and banging our cousin. But all the hillbillies, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Pick your noses and bang your cousins.
Finally, a character I identify with. Like... So on commentary, Mortimer Plumtree explains that the Johnsons are pulsing with passion for wrestling, but the Johnsons have decided that they need to work on themselves for a while. When asked if Mortimer and the Johnsons will ever come together again, Mortimer acts uneasy and unsure about the idea. I don't know. Maybe we could, but I don't know.
Spoiler alert. Last week we already said they're never coming back.
We already said last week they're not going to come back. They're gone forever. In the ring, Stan hits a very high standing leg drop, as Mortimer denies having anything to do with the attack on the not yet AMW from last week. So, great wrestling going on.
Yeah.
We're focusing on a different storyline. And to make it even worse, despite that him saying, oh, I didn't have anything to do with, then they go, Well, who do you think it was? And then they just start guessing. The Dupps have control for basically the entire match.
Yeah.
The commentary team again points out that whether it's tag division or singles, it's weird that the Flying Elvises don't have a title shot yet. Out of nowhere, the Flying Elvises hit their finishers and win. Match length 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Segment length 7 minutes and 12 seconds. My thoughts, which was already said, which is I was more interested in Mortimer Plumtree than this. I don't know. I mean, historically, heel versus heel match, but what we just saw was face versus face match. I don't know what we saw. Yeah, so Mortimer Plumtree gets the points in that match for me. I don't know what you guys feel.
I felt it was pretty pointless. They could have gone on without it. They had a comedy face team. I think they're a face team because they're over.
Right, the Dupps, right?
They don't make fun of anyone. Yeah, the Dupps. And they're the comedy team. But they had to come out and do no comedy spots or anything. And then they wanted everyone to feel sympathy or want people to get behind them. Right. And I was like, but they're the comedy team and they're not doing anything. So why should anyone like what... So I didn't understand what the whole point of anything was happening. And then the commentary made it clear that this was just something to happen in the background as they talked about other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, why would this match happen before your tag championship match?
This probably should have opened.
Yeah, why not have this open?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. That is an excellent question.
Because so far the best tag match of the night has been the opener. You
can't have it open because then where are you going to put that absolutely hilarious Goldilocks promo? Where she gets offended by their smell. And they make out behind the scenes.
Not even sarcasm. Don't say that again. She's not funny.
I mean,
she's not funny, but they are.
You could just put it at the end
because it doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't know if you could put it at the end though, because
put it after the camera stopped rolling.
Well, yeah. Well, you could do that because this is the last time we see the Dupps wrestle.
Oh, for real?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
this is it?
This is it. Never again do we see them wrestle.
Wow.
Again, as I've said multiple times before, they might just appear on another show, but we do not see them wrestle on TNA. I think they have a dark match at some point in the future, but we don't watch it.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Segment 11. Jerry Lynn and AJ Styles are backstage fighting each other, throwing each other into doors and over tables. Although the roughest thing to happen in that segment is when Lynn throws the belt at AJ.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was gross. After a pile driver, Lynn calls AJ a glory hog. Segment length, 1 minute and 14 seconds. Again, I'm not sure that Lynn is justified here. I don't know that enough has happened for him to be this angry over it.
He seemed very butthurt about something, but yeah, not justified.
Imagine, if you will, right? The X Division qualifying match takes place before this.
Yeah.
And at some point during the match, AJ comes out and like faces down. AJ makes an appearance or something. He comes out, whatever, and like stands there with the titles. Yeah.
Makes
blah, blah,
it
blah.
about him.
Yeah, makes it about him. And Jerry Lynn loses. And then later on, AJ makes it about him and takes the tag and gets the win and celebrates it.
But then he's the heel.
Not necessarily. He doesn't have to. He can just be like, yeah, and then Jerry Lynn could just be like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, the pieces are there. It's just they're like, well, it doesn't really matter what order it goes in. Story don't matter like that, as long as all the pieces are there.
Yeah, I felt like they needed at least one promo between the both of them.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I feel, stop doing it. And, like, I don't mean it, this is what I really mean. But, like, I have no idea how AJ Styles feels about any of this.
Yeah.
But you do the X Division match first, and Lynn loses, and then you have a promo in the back where AJ's like, hey, man, don't worry about it. We still got the tag. Like, and you just do something like where Jerry Lynn's upset, and AJ's just like, nah, it's cool. And, like, totally not a big deal. And it's like, well, of course it's not a big deal to you, Mr. fucking X Division champion, but...
Yeah, but he's just some kid, and he's not in anyone's ear.
Yeah.
But James Mitchell is, and that's why we have him yelling at people for no goddamn reason.
I will keep trying to book that X Division match earlier.
All right. Segment 12. This is Ken Shamrock versus Mr. Fight Ken Shamrock.
Mr. Fight is back.
This is Omari.
This is the main event, right?
No.
Championship match?
No, I definitely would have done the Troy Mcclure hour if it was.
Oh.
So, definitely not. So, Tenay runs down the tail of the tape, and both men enter. Tenay says that Omari is peaking for this match, which means it's all downhill after this, huh?
Yeah. His big fight in the States.
Yeah. So the match starts, and Tenay doubles down on crazy by saying, that's why the NWA is called what it is.
All right.
Because we get competitors from all over the world. The national world.
The national world.
Ed joins in by saying, how about Shamrock winning with a belly-to-belly? Who would have expected that? Everyone who's ever seen a match by him. He's got 2 moves. All right, so it's a slow, boring match.
Yes.
Shamrock controls most of it, with Omari missing his finisher off the top, leading to nothing. He jumps off the top rope, lands hard on his knee, because Shamrock rolls out of the way, and then they both just go, stand up and face off. There's a guy dancing in the crowd that gets more attention than this match.
Didn't the camera go to it?
It panned him. Yeah, in fact, everybody in the crowd is more focused on something else happening in the arena than this match. Then they don't care about
So
this.
the director was like, yeah, this is better than what we're watching. Go to that. Someone made a decision. Yeah, go to that. That's better.
Eventually, Shamrock gets the ankle lock, but Jeff Jarrett enters with a chair and nails everyone.
Oh my god, these chair shots.
Including Harley Race.
Oh my god. Nowinski would have a field day.
And security, which I presume are all brain dead now.
Oh, they all put their hands up. They're all bitches.
That's true. Actually, security's probably fine. However, Harley Race does have brain damage.
No, he took
did
that.
not put his hands up. Yeah.
I saw the indentation on the chair.
Honestly, I was surprised he didn't blade. The way as hard as that
I thought
chair
he was going to, yeah.
Yeah. So Jarrett leaves, threatening bullet Bob Armstrong on the way out. Match length, believe it or not, 7 minutes and 50 seconds they went on.
Really?
With that, yeah, it was a long struggle.
Shamrock's supposed to be a face, right?
Yeah, they both were, I think, technically.
Shamrock is supposed to be in shape, right? Because he was blown up after 2 minutes of that match.
Yeah.
And he was just like...
He's both robotic and sloppy, which I don't understand, but he is.
It's the worst programmed robot I've ever seen in my life. Oh, my God.
And his strikes are so big.
Is he afraid? Because he knows how to actually punch people?
I really don't know.
And then Omori was giving him those uppercuts. Leaning into him.
That's the thing.
He was like, come on, hit me.
Omori
style,
hit those European uppercuts, and they look great. But then the world's most dangerous man, or Mr. Fight, or whatever, is throwing these trash punches so bad. Terrible drop kick. He does a jumping drop kick, but horrible. He doesn't look like a competent wrestler. Not a fan.
All right. Okay. I don't know if I actually finished the time. So match length, 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Post-match length was 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And full segment length was 12 minutes and 10 seconds. And then, my thoughts were just that guy trying to get on camera was way more entertaining in this match. And I don't think this is going to surprise anybody, but this is the last time that we see Omari wrestle.
Oh, yeah. I figured.
Yeah.
One and done.
Segment 13. Goldilocks tries to interview Jerry Lynn, but he implies that she should blow him and leaves.
That's his heel turn?
That's it.
He's a disrespectful perv now?
Yeah.
Just blow me.
Open up and say,
Oh, now I know who's heel.
Yeah, after the match.
I think.
Yeah.
I think there's a pop when he said that.
But hold on. If you're turning him heel...
Well, yes, there would be a pop because he's doing the molestation.
No. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
no.
Remember, molesting good, getting molested bad.
Yeah.
That's what makes you the... We call that a victim mentality.
No one likes that.
Yeah, so, wait a minute, you just did a fucking promo where Jerry Lynn and AJ are fighting. If you're turning Jerry Lynn a heel and making him a scumbag, why didn't you just start that promo 10 seconds earlier with Jerry Lynn attacking? Let's see the start of the fight where Jerry Lynn just fucking cold cocks him and blindsides
That was my problem, too. There was no build up to the eruption. It was just happening all of a sudden.
Hold on, they're fighting all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And Jerry Lynn's a dick. So who started?
Yeah, we don't even know who started it. Exactly.
Yeah. That was only the first half of the promo, by the way. There's more. Which is then all of a sudden, Father James Mitchell walks in, calls Goldie a whore, and says he's looking for Jeff Jarrett, saying that Jarrett is about to perform a sin for which he, as a god, cannot forgive. After leaving, Goldilocks hears muffled screaming.
My favorite part!
From down the hall and around the corner.
Except it's happening the whole promo.
Yeah.
And nobody reacts to it.
Yeah. 50-50 the way that it's shot. They might have done that. The New Church might have just finished doing that because they came from that direction too. Like,
my favorite though is that you hear it, and it's like, oh, someone's like right off camera, like something happened to them. And then all of a sudden, you hear this same volume, and she's running down the hall, down into another room. And I'm like, where's the sound coming from? It's
yeah,
like,
that
through the PA or something.
She didn't walk to the side. She sprinted. For
she
like
would've
5-6 seconds. Just.
But the audio was still like right next to us.
Oh Jesus, Bill!
That's the reaction was priceless. What is it? Oh my God, Bill, Jesus! like
Again.
She just walked in on him
because Bill Behrens is tied up in his underwear with FU written on his belly.
Again, he just got molested, and that's horrible.
Oh, Bill,
Bill!
I thought you were better than this.
Yes,
Laying around. Getting...
Jesus.
Oh.
Again.
This is the American South, baby. We hate the victim.
Yo, my thoughts on this were just all like, why is Jerry Lynn having a mental breakdown? Why is Father James Mitchell having a mental break up? Because he's definitely insane, but it seems to be positive. Like he's got so much confidence in himself, but in a crazy way.
He's gaining new
and
followers.
He's trying to work things out with Jerry. He doesn't want.
Oh, and then I don't know what's going on with Bill Behrens, but that's mental. Like there's just a series of things. Like,
well, last time it was the shirt was up. Now it's the shirt and the pants are pulled down a little.
Right?
So this guy's getting closer to what he wants.
Yo, yeah, easily the craziest segment we've had. I don't know about the whole show, but definitely at least all night.
So,
oh my God.
Again, I know you said you like the whole let's do one promo.
Oh, yeah.
You can do that sometimes, but you can't make every promo be like, and now let's pan over here 45 degrees, and oh, what? And who's down the hall over here? I bet, check behind that door, someone's tied up. Must be. It's a Muppet Babies bit. You just open a door and there's gonna be something exciting behind it. Is it the boulder from Indiana Jones? Could be. I don't know. Is someone tied up naked? Could be too.
Just wait till Abyss debuts. That's literally what happens. They just open the chain door to the boiler room and he walks out.
Like he's a scene from Flash Gordon. Like, what is that?
This is the guy I got.
Oh. Okay. It is time for our main event.
Ooh.
Which means that it's time for...
Oh, wait.
The best hour.
Our favorite hour?
Our favorite hour!
Oh, my goodness.
The Troy McClure Hour. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such cautionary tales for children as Tumbling Talus, Peggy and Eileen Go to the Sock Hop, or Baby's First Steps, Learning to Crawl with Crutches. Today, we're here to talk about dealing with an obvious limp. Alright, so first we have Low Key. We've already talked about him a little bit, so I'm going to give him the Jeff Jarrett treatment and say that his first match, according to the internet, was on September 25th, 1998 for Jersey All Pro Wrestling against the Nation of Immigration.
Oh, no.
Which was Homicide and Kane D. And his partner was Ron Zombie.
Yeah. R-O-N, Ron?
Yeah, Ron, yeah. He also debuted for the XWF under the name Kick in 2001. Yeah. Next, we have Elix Skipper. As a kickboxer, Skipper decided to become a wrestler. He resigned from his job of store manager at a McDonald's in Long Island, traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, and was accepted in the WCW power plant.
Good moves. Good decision.
Yeah. He made his WCW debut 7 months later on WCW Saturday Night against John Hugger.
The Hugger.
A.K.A. Johnny Hugger. A.K.A. Johnny the Bull. A.K.A. Johnny Stamboli. A.K.A. Relic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, whoo, man, it is nepotism all the way down. He went on to become the company's only ever 101 kilogram and under champion, a.k.a. Team Canada's renamed Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
He went on to be half of the first ever WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions. He was initially part of the WWF-WCW Invasion angle, but was sent to developmental territory before joining TNA at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember seeing
I don't remember him at all.
Nope, it was real. He was like,
He
he was
literally
there for
must
like,
have been in
like
the background.
1, 2, 3, and then gone. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we'll give you a match on Heat or something once.
Yeah, it was exactly like
Yeah.
that. You're part of the big group on Raw, and then Heat, Dark,
Get out of here.
developmental. We'll call you when you have some.
Yeah. They didn't.
Here's your clothes in a trash bag.
Whoa.
We went to your house and threw them all out.
All right, next is Kid Romeo. I mean, maybe it's offensive to just stereotype him by looking at him like this, but very obviously, formerly a male stripper.
Whoops.
He trained under Paul Orndorff at the WCW power plant in 1999. He made his TV debut in 2000 against The Wall, a.k.a. Malice. Nepotism all the way down. His only company highlight is being one half of the first ever WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions with Elix Skipper. Next, Tony Mamaluke, a.k.a. Tony Marinara, a.k.a. Casanova Jones. I don't think that you've heard of Casanova Jones. I just think that's a cool name, and I wanted to say that.
Casanova Jones.
So, Tony Mamaluke was trained by Dean Malenko, believe it or not.
He did a bad job.
Look, I trained him. I didn't say he retained it. He was trained by Dean Malenko in 1998. He debuted for WCW in 1999 as an on-screen character during the Nitro Party segments involving the team of Lenny and Lodi, which was dropped when that team was removed from TV for the Glad whole thing. He quickly returned as the mobster character Tony Marinara, looking for money from Disco Inferno. From real ECW to the indie scene to WWE ECW, he has always been an Italian mobster gimmick for his whole career. That's always what he's been.
Typecasted.
Next, Chris Daniels, starting his career in 1993 with WCW, that's Windy City Wrestling.
Cool.
He got his first WWE tryout in 1998, back when they still had an F to give. Remember that classic joke?
Don't you do that.
His first ECW tryout was in 99. His first WCW tryout was in 2000. He made his name with Curryman in 2002 during the NJPW Best of the Super Juniors at the Dragon Cup. That one segment is when he got famous, apparently. At this point in 2002, his career highlight is winning the NWA Florida Heavyweight title for one day. Finally, most importantly in this match, maybe except for Chris Daniel, he's pretty important.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Jerry Lynn, 15 years in the business at this point. His first WWF tryout was in 1989 against the Twin Towers, Akeem and Big Boss Man, with his partner Ray Brown, a.k.a. No one.
Waiting for that. I wanted to know.
He had another WWE tryout in 1995 against the Heavenly Bodies, Jimmy Del Rey and Tom Pritchard, with his partner Lenny Carlson, aka Lenny Lane, aka Lenny from the Rainbow Express, aka it's nepotism all the way down. Also, he debuted in WCW as Mr. JL in 1995 against Sabu. I kind of derail here, which I believe is the infamous story of about how Sabu only got paid $500 for every appearance in WCW during a time when guys were making $10,000 to not show up.
Yeah.
Because he made the mistake of being like, I don't know, $500, and they were like, gotcha, that much forever. He thought it was like I'll do 500 this first time. They were like, solid, we should put it in stone. Also, our company's still old, we still use stone. Yeah. Segment 14. Low-Key versus Elix Skipper versus Kid Romeo versus Tony Mamaluke versus the Fallen Angel, Chris Daniels versus Jerry Lynn for the X Division rankings. The number of your elimination is the ranking you have counting down to where the winner is the number one contender. Yeah, dude, it is so confusing when you try to explain it. But yeah, there's 6 guys. First guy is the 6th contender. Last guy's the 1 contender, and everyone is in between as they're eliminated.
That's how you explain it.
Shouldn't this been like on the first show?
Right?
To rank the X Division?
You would think. Well, they've already crowned a champion. Now we got to determine the rankings.
Oh, yeah, also, this is a ranking for the X Division match. This just followed the NWA World Heavyweight title match.
Yeah. And we've already seen the NWA X Division or the X Division champion / tag champion wrestle in the opener.
Also, one more bit of rules. Tags cannot be refused. Never comes into play.
Oh, yeah.
Never comes into play.
I mean, 1 tag is refused.
Unless you're talking about the one I'm talking about, then 1 tag is ignored.
Yeah, that's what I basically mean.
Okay. So, Romeo and Daniels start the match. Everybody gets tagged in once. Tony Mamaluke looks the worst out of all of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, man. Highlights include an acai-style springboard reversal into a spinning heel kick by Elix Skipper. This is the one we were talking about. Tony Mamaluke slaps Kid Romeo, who is not, he's on the outside. He's not the legal man. Just slaps him and walks away. No reason.
Not a tag.
Not a tag.
He no-sold that, too. Nothing happened.
He doesn't get angry and tries to go in after him. He just gets slapped and goes, I don't know what that
was. And Tenay goes, oh, there's a tag. And then he walks away and then immediately tags Jerry Lynn, and Jerry Lynn comes in. I was like, I guess, what?
We see this again. This is the 2nd time Lynn's done this spot, which is Lynn goes for a spinning reverse gory special, and then the guy just flips out of it. It didn't happen.
Stamina.
I don't understand. Yeah. And then also another thing I really need to point out is that every time Jerry Lynn tags out, he lingers in the ring for a few seconds. He's just dead inside and doesn't know what to do with his life.
Out. Now we do our tag move. Oh, we're not doing that. Oh, well then what do I do?
Guess I'll get out of the ring. Slowly.
Yeah, it's another one of these long ass half-hour matches, so there's a lot going on.
I don't understand. We go a long time before we even get the first elimination.
Right.
A long time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everyone has a little mini
Everybody
match.
get all your shit.
All opener.
Everyone get all your shit.
Everyone had a shine in the beginning.
Yeah.
The match kind of breaks down with the outside spot, where we have a dive spot where Daniels hits a split-legged moonsault to the outside. Oh, he hits a split-legged moonsault to Lynn on the outside. And then Kid Romeo dives on them perfectly. But somehow slips right between both of them and just plants on the ground.
Yeah.
It's he hit you perfectly. What happened?
They both turned.
Then Tony Mamaluke gets up and dives at all 3 of them and somehow misses everyone and only lands on Romeo.
Yeah.
And then, for no reason at all, Low-Key and Skipper, who are fighting in the ring, just stop fighting and jump over the top rope at all 4 men. And then after they land on all 4 men, they stand up and start fighting each other outside again. I was like, that was the lamest one of those I've ever seen in my life.
I love when the first dive happened and the second guy after the first dive starts climbing up. I think it was Don West or Tenay said it right before me. He was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, we all know what's happening here.
Here's the thing.
Everyone, one by one.
All right, so here it is. Here's the eliminations. Tony Mamaluke pulls Jerry Lynn's leg while he's on the top rope, and he crotches himself, and Lynn is counted out. It's the worst.
I didn't even realize it happened until they said it on commentary.
It's because it was the weirdest thing where what happened was he was the legal man, and then he got crotched and pushed outside of the ring. And then somebody else came in, and the ref was like, yeah, but I'm still going to count that. And so I didn't know if he got counted out as a legal man, if he got like, you know, that like secondary count out where the guy has to be on the apron or the outside.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but he got counted out somehow.
Yeah.
He's the number 6 contender now.
He was leaving, and people in the front row were like, hey, go back, where are you going? They thought he was just like being a heel and leaving, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get it.
They didn't announce anything, there was no bell.
No bell, no announcement.
No.
I didn't understand it.
No.
All of a sudden, Jerry Lynn was leaving, and yeah, same thing. Oh, well, he just got counted out. Wait, what?
Awful, yeah.
And now this is the guy who you just started a feud against your X Division champion.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And your crowd is borderline confused about whether or not if he was screwed or gave up or if he sucks or like we don't know. Yeah.
And like now we're supposed to not like him, aren't we? Didn't he just make a heel turn?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a bad. I presume. Yeah, he's supposed to be a bad guy.
It's
unless
all
again,
so baffling.
unless once again next week they're gonna go. You know what? Looking back, yeah, AJ is a glory hog. He's a big old jerk, and we hate him. Like, no, but that's not the show you've been showing us. So next, play of the day by Elix Skipper to Mamaluke, and he's out. So now Tony Mamaluke is the number 5 contender. Elix Skipper slips out of the ring on an Irish whip, presumably due to exhaustion.
I freaked out. I thought he died.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
was like, he had a heart attack?
Well, he smashes the back of his neck on the corner of the ring. Like, he slips through and boom.
Hits his,
Yeah, he like neck bump rolled out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, presumably to exhaustion, because I don't know why it happened.
I'm
it was
sure.
a weird spot. Like, I don't know what it was about. It could have been real. That could have been a real thing. They were like, fuck it, you gotta go. Like,
Loki hit a few headbutts before that. I don't know if he hit him, one of them.
Maybe they were
because it is Loki.
I don't know.
Yeah,
So maybe one of them hit him. He was a little loopy. He threw him, and he just.
All right. Well, Last Rites by Christopher Daniels takes out Skipper, so Skipper is number 4 ranking. Top Rope Air Raid Crash by Kid Romeo leads to a 3 for Daniels.
My goodness. But it wasn't a 3.
Yeah, but his foot was on the ropes.
Apparently.
So
yeah,
it didn't count.
I was like, that should have ended the whole goddamn match, that fucking spot.
Daniels is still in. Doesn't matter. Low Key locks in the Dragon Clutch, and Kid Romeo is gone. He's number 3. Daniels goes for the Last Rites, but Low Key reverses it, hits the Fisherman Buster, a.k.a. the Key Crusher, and that's the win, because that means Daniels is number 2. Loki's number 1. That's the winner. So that means he faces AJ Styles next week. Post-match, the Flying Elvises attack Loki and Daniels. Siaki says to the commentary, they are the X Division, even if we have to take it.
And he even says, oh, they're taking a page out of Jarrett's book, just taking what they don't get. I'm like, yeah, they're writing the same storyline for someone else.
The other match participants come out and make the save. Match length, 21 minutes and 45 seconds. Post-match length, 1 minute and 50 seconds. Full segment length, 26 minutes and 32 seconds.
So long.
Yeah,
oh,
dude.
yeah.
And again, they go so long before even one elimination.
That's
cut most of that crap out of there.
That's what the length was. Yeah.
And they already had 2 matches like this before. Like, they started the show off with a Battle Royal, so it was a 30-minute match to end the show. And then after that, it was another 30-minute match for the X Division title on show 2. And so, like, that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
They give us an hour of wrestling where it's like, this is kind of cool, it's pretty good. And then a half hour of like, yo, this is just one solid match that I didn't need. Why are you doing this? Yeah. So, I guess next week, we're going to see Low-Key versus Styles if the Flying Elvises allow it to happen. Because if I were them, and I thought I deserved that match, I just wouldn't let it fucking happen.
Yeah.
Like I would wait in the back until the bell rang, and I just run out and kick them all down. Like, what? Okay, now have a match. You know, like, you know, I don't know. Maybe
I get that.
and then get ready. Here it is. Who's getting launched out into the sun? This is the last time that we see
Please, Tony Mamaluke.
Kid Romeo
Oh, yeah, that is. Yeah, I don't remember him being around.
wrestle. Oh, I have a modifier here. This year.
Oh.
Oh.
So apparently we're going to see him come back in 2003 at some point.
And what is he? He was ranked number 3 now?
Number 3?
He's number 3. We'll
The
never see him
number
again.
3 X Division
For a
is
month.
won't be seen again for a year. Oh my god. Segment 15, commentary wraps up the show. We're going to have AJ Styles versus Low-Ki for the X title next week, but what about Jerry Lynn? How's he going to get involved in that? Don't forget about Scott Hall's hit list. That's a thing. Also, next week, Puppet versus Meatball, the world's largest midget. Spoiler alert, they don't mean height. And then all of a sudden, Jarrett comes out and says, screw the new church, screw the NWA, screw Mike Tenay, and screw the Titans.
Yeah, they're sitting right over there in the front row.
I want my title shot. Yeah, they are sitting right there in front row. The NFL Titans football players take a swing at Jarrett and then jump the guardrail to fight him. And, that might have been a real fight.
This is the greatest thing I saw on the show.
That might have been a real, like, whoever the guy that was supposed to do the work didn't get in there quick enough.
That was great.
Dude, yeah.
That was great.
Yo.
One of the guys, I think the first guy who hops the hard rail, at one point just picks Jarrett out.
Clean up.
Yeah.
Like he is a baby boy to be wrapped in a lovely little blanket because
and thrown down a river because we don't want it.
Yeah, he started slamming him on the apron and then tossed him like he was nothing. I was like, oh wow, this guy's getting a world title shot or something. He's throwing around Jarrett.
Yeah, and then Jarrett takes them all out with a chair. Which at this point, I go, oh yeah, Jarrett, swing for the goddamn fences after that. Yeah, do whatever you want.
I was dying. I watched it twice, and both times I had the same, like, joyous reaction. I legit thought he was getting jumped.
Yeah.
Because he had it so good. And then he was like, yo, guys, come over. He jumped over. They just all 3 of them throwing fists. And I was like, oh my God, he's getting jumped. He's done.
The way he was like, come over, it seemed like, oh, they're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Yo, and the way the Titans, like, really just lit with their big fucking football player meat fist.
Oh my
and just
that was my favorite part. Fucking Tiny Jeff Jarrett got engulfed by all 3 of them. I'm like, oh my God, these are very large men. And Jarrett is a child.
And then the new church makes the save. It's like, yo,
Kinda.
break up that shoe.
No, did you see Malice when he ran in?
Oh no.
No,
Was he ready?
He took out, there was the 2 white guys and the black guy. He took out the black guy from behind.
Yeah.
He had no idea what was going on. He just immediately pushed him from behind. He went down so fast. And then beeline for Jarrett. It was like, we're brawling over here, Jarrett, quick, run! And then he went over the guardrails and ran all the way to the back.
Yeah.
But look, watch that again. He fucking takes him out.
Yeah,
because they run out there with a purpose almost. They're like, we have to save them.
Yes, we have to stop this shoot.
I wasn't sure, like, if that was
before these 6'8" men beat poor Jeff Jarrett.
I didn't know if that was like protect the boys, protect the business, because football's making wrestlers look weak, or I wasn't sure what was happening.
Yeah, this was break up the shoot fight and then fight out of here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because they're actually very large men, so let's get out of here.
When it happens, you know, it's like they stop the football players, grab Jarrett, and quickly fight away.
Yes.
And I just imagine James Mitchell is there going, it's fucking work, you big idiots, to the football players. Like, we're fighting away now. Go back to your fucking seats.
I know. I'd agree with that too, because when Jarrett grabs the chair, he hits the football players, and the football players kind of react like, "Oh fuck that!"
He hit him hard.
And then he nails like Slash.
Yeah.
And he goes to nail like anybody else, but Malice is just like, no, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Pushes the chair, grabs him, and then like it's like when the big guy's grabbing the little guy, pull away. Take him out.
And I love it because that happens immediately, and they go over the guardrail, they fight in the crowd, and Tempest is like, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to get hit by a chair. How do I sell it? It was just confused about what happened because he's fine. He didn't get hit by a chair. He's totally fine. And they're fighting the crowd, and he's like, oh, that over there. Oh, man. Oh, like, if I wasn't so concerned about it, I guess Slash? I don't know. Oh, man. So, yeah, wrap-up length was 1 minute. The Jarrett length was 1 minute. So, full segment was 2 minutes. Yeah, I don't know if you actually noticed this. Jarrett got a hole ripped in the center of his shirt.
Yeah.
Like, several holes in the center.
In the back a little bit, too.
Not at a seam. Middle of the fabric, just torn right through. And then also, all of the Titans that were kicking the shit out of Jarrett all had sandals on.
And they all lost them, too.
Yeah,
I watched that happen.
Backless sandals. They all flew off. Yeah, and they can still kick the shit out of Jarrett.
They can't jump over guardrails, though. They were pretty bad at that.
Yeah, no,
that guy fell right on his
defense.
face.
They're not all. They don't have to do any jumping. They just stand there lying.
Yeah, you don't go forward.
No. That's why Mouse was able to push him over so quick, because he fell forward.
Or reverse turtle.
He's only got back muscles. He doesn't have forward stuff.
He's laying on his stomach stuck. It's just a manatee flopping his thing.
Yelling for his coach. Help!
Oh, coach, I'm falling. You didn't teach me this one. All right. Okay. Bell to bell to bell to bell to bell to bell to bell. 52 minutes and 21 seconds of wrestling on this hour and 52-minute show. Which, that's pretty consistent. It's always an hour of non-wrestling, and then whatever the remaining time is always solid wrestling.
Yeah.
My thoughts are, I guess it's good that they didn't rely as much on Shamrock and AJ as they did the last few shows, but they just switched it, because now they're relying on Lynn and Malice, or I guess more like James Mitchell, really.
Yeah, what, Mitchell had 3-4 segments?
Something like that, yeah. Right? Yo, but you have so many other wrestlers. Give them some air.
That's what I'm saying. One with AJ or Jerry Lynn to explain something. Yeah. Why does James Mitchell have 4 different segments he's in?
I watched this and I got through the first hour and I was like, man, this is solid stuff.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I am really enjoying this. And then the second hour starts and not only is it bad, but it makes the stuff in the first half even worse.
That's
I'm like, why did you show me that stuff first?
That is what I have said every episode we have done so far. Mm-hmm. The first hour of wrestling is some of the best wrestling I've probably ever seen.
It's so good.
Maybe even still to this day, it's better than some. And then there's another half hour afterwards where you're just like, oh my God, what
is
monkey do they bash in the brain and then give the book to? Yeah, I guess why would you make this? I want to say it was to establish the heels of the company, but everybody's a heel now. They're all heels.
Yeah.
I don't know who's a face anymore.
And Jarrett's a heel fighting with the New Church who were heels. And Brian Christopher is a heel, even though he was a face when he fought Kate Crush, but now they're both heels. And then the Dups are, I guess, faces. But they're, and the Flying Elvises, Are they faces? I don't know. They might both be faces, but also the Flying Elvises kind of got booed, so maybe they're heels. And
it's the weirdest. Every face is garbage, and every heel has a legitimate gripe that even the people should be concerned with, and that's never the case.
Well, they're bringing in people now to play faces. They have Hermie Sadler's. Whatever his name was.
Again,
you get us a big face.
Why is that? Yeah, why is that a draw? Why is that
a Delta? What are they? Now they have the Titans. I guess Jarrett's going to do something with that.
I guess that's 2
So
weeks
I'm just
in a row.
you just keep getting celebrities as faces and making everyone heel.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what they're gonna do next show. They've set up a lot of stuff, but I don't know I don't know when they're gonna pull the trigger on any of this stuff, because they keep setting stuff up, but they don't build any of it enough in a way for me to be like, okay, no, you just did a promo. Oh yeah, Mountie Brown, you want a match with me? All right, if you can get it, sure, why not? Oh, okay, you don't really seem too hype about that. Should I be?
They did nothing with the X Division the whole show except the main event, and did a lot with AJ and Jerry Lynn, and then established Jerry Lynn's at the very bottom, so he's gonna get a title shot last, even though they have the most story so far. So I'm you should be setting up something else in the background then, so we can focus on that while that's happening on long term.
Or even okay, fine, make Jerry Lynn rank last, but then he gets in the way every time that Styles has a match against one of the other guys, so that he, like, forces himself up the rankings by screwing all the other competitors.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it feels like so much wasted potential.
Especially for someone like AJ, they're giving him everything, and yet I feel like he has nothing.
Yeah.
He's a really good in-ring worker, and I love his matches, but, like, what does he do?
He must be trash on the mic right now.
Yeah,
he must be awful on the mic for them not to give him, like, even a little bit of mic time.
2 belts, no mics.
No mic. Don't eat, like, JB, when he gets in the ring, you run out of the ring with the mic.
You hold on to that.
Don't
for dear
even
life.
let the residual audio pick up. None from him. All right, so let's see if we can try to guess any part of the card. I don't know if you had any matches on your, like, we're definitely getting Styles versus Low-Key for the X title.
Yeah.
Puppet versus Meatball, and then I'm pretty sure we're getting Brian Lawler versus Scott Hall
Okay.
because the Scott Hall hit list.
Oh, okay.
And then so, like, what else is there?
I want Monty Brown back.
Right, we should technically be getting it because enough time has passed where it's time for that match. If he got it established, if Bill Barron's okayed it, it's time to have that match. We didn't establish another match for Ken Shamrock.
Maybe that's who's doing things to Bill Bearings.
Monty Brown? He just showed up.
I don't know. Jesus, Bill!
Pervert.
Yeah, so maybe Ken Shamrock versus Monty Brown. You guys
All
have
right. Yeah. I can
anything else? Any
see
other
Shamrock
matches?
versus Monty Brown. Would they do Jarrett versus Malice? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But we just ended the show with the New Church and Jarrett fighting.
Yeah.
So presumably that's gonna go somewhere.
Right, because they both have the same goal, and they obviously can't both achieve the same goal.
Yeah.
So
I imagine we leave the tag division alone next week, or we leave the tag championships alone next week and focus on the X division.
I guess, or we have to address it because it seemed like that team isn't together anymore.
Yeah, I would assume we would do something with AMW, maybe hopefully explain that.
Are they alive?
Yeah. And then I'm hoping the Alicia thing gets resolved some way, or at least explained, or whatever that woman's name is who's taking money from people.
It'll
Yeah.
never be explained.
Dropped.
I don't know, yeah. And then, like something with Miss TNA, because that's dying.
Who?
That's
Who?
dying so fast. Yeah, exactly. They have to establish something for that. Otherwise, it was pointless.
They did. She's Miss TNA.
Yeah, but
Established.
now what?
Oh,
Like, give me a crown. Pay me money to do nothing. Like,
now
what
we're
the
watching
fuck?
this other girl. She's, stripping for Jeremy Vorash.
Yeah, and then
That's
I'm
what
sure...
we're into. You don't watch the same porn every night.
I mean, I do.
We're not going to put the same woman out
because
there
you
every
don't
night.
finish it. You get to whatever. Anyway, yeah, 100%. Like, it is a full on. I can't even confidently
It's-
guess what the next
It's
show's
such a
gonna be like.
mess, and like I can't even tell the direction the company's trying to go because I feel like the storylines that are there, like crystal clear as day. Oh my god, there's so much potential.
Yeah.
They just leave them on the table, and
It's because a lot of those guys aren't under contracts. They don't know who to trust, what they should invest in.
yeah.
They have the top guys, and that's it. Everyone else is just on a handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hurting them.
Yeah, so that's like the entire
Hard.
X division. They're not going to do anything with them.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Hope the next show's better. But this actually does kind of feel like it's maybe, I know you haven't been here, but it's Pro Scout, maybe it's maybe the worst show overall so far.
Probably, and that's a shame because I feel like their best match was on the show.
Yeah, but everything else was just like.
But
maybe
you forget about it immediately
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it started.
Yeah. Yeah, like Delta was saying, maybe if they ordered it better, it would have been a little better.
It
Oh, yeah.
really, I think, would make a huge
Yeah.
difference. You flip the order around because then you can at least make like the whole Jerry Lynn AJ story. You can set it up throughout the show.
Yeah, that was
And
the storyline
really-
of the show, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Make it make sense,
Or don't.
or don't,
And
or
somehow,
don't,
and somehow still survive for 20
Yeah.
years.
or don't, and still survive the TNA story.
Fucking the America story.
Oh yeah. You could take care of your people, or don't. You'll still just keep going.
I mean, it worked for everybody else. Who might argue with it? Like, what are you complaining about? Yeah, so I mean, as far as we're concerned, it's definitely going to be Styles versus Low Key, Puppet versus Meatball, Lawler versus Hall, and Shamrock versus Monty Brown. Everything else is a guess. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Like I said, like maybe we're going to get an AJ Styles promo. Maybe.
No.
But also, yeah, definitely fucking not. Like, like I got no clue what's going on.
We're definitely going to get some TNA.
Yeah, but also, we aren't.
Oh, yeah.
Because
That was that whole promo, wasn't
no,
it?
Yeah, the whole thing. Like, you didn't even see side boob in that shit. Like, it was nothing. I think you probably see more just from like what like Goldie wears during promos than you saw during that striptease segment. Like,
Did she do that promo wrong? She just came out and was like, "This is TNA, and I came here to see ass." And I was like, "What?"
that like that was probably just one of those weird hang-ups that you have to deal with sometimes in wrestling where it's like, yeah, you want me to go out there and show my boobs? That's no problem. I'll call myself a slut. Yeah, no, that's no problem. And I'll grind on Jeremy Borash. Yeah. Oh, no, I won't say the word tits. That's too graphic. You're like, okay. Like, I don't know where to start arguing with that, so I just agree to it. Sure. And then the promo happens, you're like, oh, I should have argued that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be that bad. All right, so that's it. The show gets, I don't know, 2 stars? Maybe not. We don't really do a star ranking here, but sometimes we do.
1 star.
1 star? He says 1 star.
I'll do a star and a half.
A star and a half, and what did I say? Doesn't matter. Anyway, outro means that if you enjoyed this show, consider giving it a like or some stars or whatever you got to do. Just, like, write our name on paper and throw it at strangers. It'll work. And then they'll open up the paper and it'll say, why would you make this? And they'll go, what? No. They'll get around to the podcast eventually. It'll trace back to us. All right, so of course the intro music is an edited version of Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. Yeah, so that's it, right? For Brother Skylar and J Delta, I'm Jimmy Time. Please remember, without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.